Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year, and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
It's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on The Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Apologize for the technical difficulties. We are back, Jason Walker Show, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. That seems a little loud, but all right, we're going to have a shortened show, obviously, today. Apologize for that. We had some. It's new. It's live. It's fun. We're trying to figure everything out. So we apologize for the first 10 minutes, but we are back on Jason Walker Show on the Facebook, also on the Twitter and YouTube, and you can follow us along anytime as well on TreasureStateRadio.com. If you have not downloaded the app yet, you need to go to Google Play or the Apple Store and get TreasureStateRadio.com and just do it because I said so. And there you go. All right, this is the Jason Walker Show. We were going to talk about basketball here in the early going, and we kind of still will. The Frontier Conference gets going tonight. With Carroll College up at MSU Northern for the men and the women. Everything else starts on Thursday, but the Carroll men and women will be playing tonight at the Armory Gymnasium, one of the greatest old school gyms up there at Havre. And Havre has it, up there at MSU Northern. But it is a fun gym. It's a very tough place to play. And if you get a chance to go watch that game, those games tonight, you definitely should. The women will tip off at 6. The men tip off at 8. And it's the top 25 battle on the women's side. Not so much on the men's side. Very close, though. You've got a top 26 battle. Northern just outside the top 25 in the latest poll. New polls come out next week for both the men and the women. And we'll update you on that, of course, next week. But, so Frontier Conference basketball underway tonight at the Armory Gymnasium there in Havre. And that's a question today, the trivia poll, or not trivia, but today's Twitter poll. Who wins the Frontier Conference men's basketball championship? Will it be Northern? Will it be Providence? Will it be Carroll? You can vote for any school in the Frontier. There are 7 of them. You can vote for LC State or Western or Rocky or Tech as well. But you can go to @JWalkerSports or @JasonWalker Show. Cast your vote and get it in. All right, so we're going to take a very quick break. And when we do, we're going to come back and be joined in the Major Mortgage Man Cave by the reigning Miss Rodeo Montana. Kayla Seaman will join us next here on The Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Oh, happy Tuesday. It is the Jason Walker Show. Here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. This is new music. A dude named Noah Britton on the East Coast got a hold of me, made this music bed, so it's specifically and only to the Jason Walker Show. How about that? Nice job, Noah. Fantastic bed. Love it. Jason Walker Show rolls on, and we got On This Day in History still to come. Also going to check the walk-off presented by Cafe Zydeco. Tomorrow, Dinner's Done Right will bring us That's What She Said, and we have a brand new sponsor starting tomorrow as well. Looking forward to that, and another one next week, which is going to be a fun one as we get going on out. Anyway, Jason Walker Show is back, and hopefully you're sticking with us with all the technical difficulties we have had. But here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, we are pleased. The PRCA finals for Montana are this weekend at Great Falls that run Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But starting tomorrow in the Electric City, it is the competition for Miss Rodeo Montana. Tomorrow, we're going to talk to Brienne Grimshaw of Manhattan. She will join us here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave and chat about the competition. And also running is Katie Lynn Krause. And still to come today, we're going to check in with Cassidy Shay O'Neil, another competitor. But first, it is the current and reigning Miss Rodeo Montana. We love her, Kayla Seaman. All right, it is one of my favorite times of the day, and I've had this opportunity to do this a few times over the past, 18 months almost, and she's become a friend of the show. She's become a family friend as well, and we want to welcome into the Jason Walker Show, not for the final time, hopefully, but Miss Rodeo Montana, Kayla Seaman. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, Jason.
It's always a great thing to talk with you because you're just a sweetheart, and you're the reason you're Miss Rodeo Montana is because you came on the Jason Walker Show so many times. So we got you nominated. We got you winning. Like, I joke a little bit. We take some of the credit. But no, it's just been a whirlwind, really 18 months for you, hasn't it? And it's all ending this weekend.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. I was just telling Jason off air that just this year, I've traveled over 62,000 miles. It's been sometimes a little bit lonely. I did about 200 of those miles with Miss Rodeo New York. I don't know if anyone remembers her being on the show during the Last Chance Stampede.
Miss Noelle White.
Yep. Everything else has been by myself. There have been a lot of stops to gas stations, some pulling over and sleeping in the truck, some stopping by fairgrounds and taking my horse out of the trailer and letting him get some water, letting him rest his legs, and I nap a little bit. But it's been such an incredible experience, honestly. It's it's life-changing.
You were Miss Last Chance Stampede for about 6 months. You became Miss Rodeo Montana just about a year ago this weekend. And we had you on right after that. And you've been on a couple of times since. But we were just talking. You went to so many. How many rodeos did you end up going to just in Montana?
Oh, how many rodeos? I don't know the number off the top of my head. I have an entire list of every place I went to. I attended not only rodeos, but fundraisers, as well as going to schools and the Helena Middle School Rodeo Day. And a total of those events, including rodeos, was 175.
Dang. That is impressive. Like, that's just incredible. Like, I can't even imagine going to that many places. And that's half the year. And that doesn't count drive time. It doesn't count, your coronations. It doesn't count all of that stuff that goes in between.
Yeah, none of the makeup or curling the hair or having to shower so people don't run away from my stench.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that. Kayla Seaman, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show, she is Miss Rodeo Montana. You just got back from Las Vegas. You were at the national finals. You finished in the top 10. Second Montanan ever in the top 10?
I don't know the numbers for that. But in the last few years, the last girl to be in the top 10 was Lindsay Garpstead in 2016.
Mm-hmm. And you were in the top 10. Did they tell you where you were, like 6 to 10? Did you get a number or?
Well, I mean, when they randomly assigned who was going to be in the top 10, I was listed as the 6th person, so we'll say I was 6th.
You were just outside the top 5. See, I had you in my top 5, obviously.
Oh, thank you.
But I also had Texas, Oklahoma, and I think I had Miss South Dakota in there, and she ended up winning it, Jordan Tierney. Okay, so you knew Miss New York very well, obviously, after spending some of the summer with her. But how much of the other contestants did you get to know over the course of the week and a half that you were in Vegas?
One of the cool things about being a state title holder is they have a Queens Week actually in Florida at the beginning of the year. And so I had the opportunity to meet almost all of the girls. We are a later pageant. The only ones that are later than us are Louisiana, Texas, and Nevada. So I'd met all the girls except for those 3. And it was incredible just to kind of get your toes wet and meet everyone and just kind of see, what people were like. And you're more similar than you are different, especially when you're all horse girls and you love rodeo. Mm-hmm. So there's always something that you're going to connect with each of them. And knowing most of them going in, it was more of a reunion than meeting for the first time, other than the couple states that I mentioned earlier. And we bonded. It's hard not to when you spend 21 hours of the day with everybody else, and the other 3 you spend sleeping, and you do it for 9 days straight. So all the girls are so nice. They're incredible. I'm not even joshing you. I'm not even Jason Walkering you right now.
Wow. Kayla Seaman joining us, Miss Rodeo Montana, here on the Jason Walker Show. Okay, so in Vegas, for those week and a half, that's a lot longer than a normal pageant. What else did you guys have to do besides the horsemanship and the interviews and all that?
So different to, say, Miss Rodeo Montana or the Miss Last Chance Stampede pageant, there are almost 30 girls. So the time allotted into that is much more significant than, say, having 3 girls running for Miss Rodeo Montana like there are this year and 4 teens. There's 7 girls. And, when you have 4 times that many, you need at least 4 times that amount of time.
Sure.
And additionally, there are different productions that we do that are a little bit different than Miss Rodeo Montana. It's a Las Vegas show.
Sure.
And it has to be Las Vegas quality. And so they put a bunch of rodeo queens that ride horses in cowboy boots on a stage, and we have to dance like Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
If you're watching, another one of the contestants for this year's Miss Rodeo Montana, Cassidy Shay O'Neil, just walked in. So, do you want to grab a seat over there, and we'll get you on after we get Kayla here. But I've known Cassidy Shay for a long time. We were just talking about this. I think I've known you since 13, so that's a long time. It's like almost 7 years. We're going to talk to Shay coming up here. I know her as a different name. It's so weird. As we continue here with Miss Rodeo Montana, Kayla Seaman. What was it like for you on that stage the final day when they announced the top 10?
I feel like everyone was tired at that point.
But you all look good.
Well, thank you. Thanks. One of the things about rodeo cleaning is, regardless how tired you are and how sick you may be, it's all internally, because you are there to do your best and be your best. And even if you feel under the weather, you feel a little bit crummy, that's not how you want people to see you. And so you pull out your extrovert card, and you keep doing your job, and you keep representing your state to your best ability. And it was a little bit of relief to be finally completed with a 9-day marathon, like anyone would be. It's just been an honor, really, to represent our entire state and the sport of rodeo. Only 62 other girls have been able to hold this title before me. And that's such a small percentage when you really think about it. And so being able to wear those chaps and have that crown on your head is something that no one should ever take for granted or think is less than it actually is. And God has a plan for everyone, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't my plan to be Miss Rodeo America, but it was my plan to be Miss Rodeo Montana. And I hope that I was able to impact the people that I did and touch the lives that I could positively, and do my job that way so that I can pass the torch on to the next gal.
Have you taken a chance since you got back from Vegas to just kind of sit back, or is it going to be after this weekend and go, man, what an amazing last year it's been? Or have you thought about that yet? I mean, you spend a lot of time on the road by yourself, so you have a lot of, I used to travel by myself, and I found out that, when I talk to myself and start answering back, then I knew I had a problem. But other than that, have you thought about this past? I mean, have you stopped smiling yet?
No. To answer your first question, I reflect a lot. That's just the way I am, because I always want to try to do better the next time. And at every rodeo, almost every rodeo that I can get and talk to the announcer, I go up there and I find him. I say, hey, how was yesterday? How can I improve? And they laugh at me. They're like, you're doing great. But to me, it's very important, the job that I do. Mm-hmm. And so I have to ask, because I want to know if there's something I did wrong or something that wasn't 100% perfect, so that I can make sure that there's a change and I can pivot to improve. Gotcha. And I go and I talk to my gate man, and I go and talk to my stock contractor. If there's a queen coordinator, they're easy conversations to have. And they'll never tell you unless you ask. And they're your boss for the week.
Well, I remember you asking after your first or second interview, like, hey, how can I get better at this? And I, gave you some pointers, and boom, I helped you win Miss Rodeo Montana.
Yeah, look at us now.
Dreams come true here on the Jason Walker Show. Kayla Seaman, Miss Rodeo Montana, our guest here. A few final questions, because I don't, and I hope this isn't the last time you and I chat, because it's been, like I said, you've become a friend of the show and a family friend. And Little Miss Weenie, I remember during the pageant in Vegas, we were putting up the pictures here for the studio and the Major Mortgage Man Cave, but she sat right here in this chair and watched you. She was enamored. So she might be a future queen. You never know.
Yeah.
She's already my princess.
Exactly. I mean, all we can do is hope and pray.
Yeah.
give her a little bit of tips every now and then.
Like her mom and not like her dad. That's what we'll hope for, right? All right, so what's next for you?
I've been asked this question a lot, and the state queens have a like a Facebook Messenger group, and it's kind of a running joke at this point. You know, what are you going to do with your life now? And everyone kind of jokes that they just want to like walk away when everyone asks that question at this point. I have a lot of things that I want to do. If you haven't noticed, I'm a goal setter.
Just a little bit.
And I just try to set my sights really high and try to improve in every aspect of life, whether that's, you know, friendships, my traveling, my career, my education, whatever that is. I want to improve and get better and try to be the best person I can be and be the best in that niche that I'm at. I've got lots of dreams, lots of goals, lots of aspirations. But, you know, right now, I want to talk to Montana State University and see if there's an opportunity where I could start teaching and being a professor. I think there's a high need for some equine marketing in the university. There's such a large enrollment for the business department and the animal science, specifically equine science. Being able to have a class as an elective that hits both sides of that.
Sure.
With the opportunities that I've had at such a young age and being in the state of Montana, I felt like I can really impact that niche. And possibly do a equine events management class in the future. But that's a big goal that I've kind of been working. I mean, back in 2017 when I graduated, I talked to my professor and I said, how can I be in the Montana State University Systems program? Like, how can I give back?
Sure.
And part of that would be helping coach the equestrian team and helping out the rodeo team and kind of being on those sidelines instead of in the spotlight now, and be able to help other people and grow their dreams and try to make their dreams realities.
That's awesome, because you're awesome. And Miss Rodeo Montana, current Miss Rodeo Montana, Kayla Seaman joining us. All right, what can the girls expect this weekend?
Well, there will be some funny dad jokes. Those are kind of my thing. Lots of laughs, lots of fun, a little sleep, maybe a little stress, but
just a little.
All in all, a good time, and what's meant to be is supposed to be, and not to take life too seriously, because it's in God's hands, and everyone has worked so hard at this point that you just got to throw your poker chips out on the table and hope the dice rolls in your favor.
I like that answer. Okay, I got a couple of quick ones for you here.
Yep.
When will your face stop hurting from smiling so much for the last 18 months?
I've always been like this, Jason.
and B, when this weekend's done and you get home, how much time are you just going to stay in your house, not do your hair, not do your makeup, not do anything? You did a little bit for this because you're getting ready for the tomorrow, but how much time? Like, seriously, like, I'm just going to lounge around in pajamas, I'm going to eat ice cream, and I'm just going to have, like, I'm not going to have visitors, I'm not going to talk to anybody, I just want to stay in my house. I'm going to catch up on shows that I've missed for the last year.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this about me, but I eat ice cream every day of my life.
Okay.
Because you never know when your last day will be your last.
True.
I love ice cream, even if it's just a small little bit. So yeah, absolutely, there will be ice cream. I need to start selling some of my queen clothes because I've invested a lot of money into that, and there needs to be more than just me that love the clothes. So I'll kind of pass on the torch that way as well. And I would like to start riding my own horses again.
I bet. You've had to ride everybody else's for the last year.
I've ridden, over 200 horses in the last 2 years.
Wow.
And I'm looking forward to just riding some of my good old horses that I broke, and I just got a 2-year-old that I'm looking to start, and just having some fun and horsing around.
No pun intended. So you tell the dad jokes then.
Yeah.
I love it. See, this is why we have bonded over these last months. I love it. Kayla Seaman, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right. Don't be a stranger.
I won't.
I mean, now your reign is over. Are you going to cry when you pass on the thing?
The crown.
The crown.
I got asked that today, and I'm not a dramatic person. I'm pretty.
It's the emotions of the whole year finally just like, oh, I'm done. Here, you take this stress.
I won't cry. I don't think. I'll be so excited for the next young lady that gets to do this.
Sure.
And this goes for not only Shay or Katie Lynn or Brienne or whoever wins and the teens. Like, if they need a rodeo mom for a weekend, you better bet your bottom dollar that I will hook up my trailer, come pick you up. If you need a horse, I will have one for you. And water, snacks. I'm a snack girl. Lots of snacks. Nice. Sunscreen. That's important.
Okay.
Your health is very important. So, just kind of being a rodeo queen mom. If you guys ever need any of that, that's what I'm here for.
I like it. I may need a rodeo queen mom too. You never know. Final question I have for you. I would like to hang up here in the Major Mortgage Man Cave one of your sashes or an old something of yours from the last year. Like, I know that the sash of Miss Rodeo Montana is pretty important, but if there's something that we'll talk afterwards, but I definitely need something to hang up in here.
Absolutely. I think this would be a perfect place for one of the Miss Rodeo Montana memorabilias.
I think so. And people should get a hold of you to buy your outfits.
Yes, they should get a hold of me to buy my outfits. If they're interested in becoming rodeo queens, so that, your young listeners, even your old listeners that are under 25, 25 or under.
Is that the cutoff?
You gotta give it a year to really learn.
I can't go. I can't apply.
Unfortunately not, Jason. You would be a great Miss Rodeo Montana, though.
That's kind of sexist. There should be a Mr. Rodeo Montana.
I don't disagree with you, but you'd have to be in a long line of all the other cowboys, I think, first.
And knowing what we were talking about before we came on, about who are the hottest couples in rodeo, I wouldn't stand a chance. Kayla, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. And like I said, don't be a stranger.
Careful, I might end up, knocking the door asking for dinner.
I just made brisket last week.
Or, we could always watch the parade again next year like we did last year.
I like that. We'll do that. Kayla Seaman, everybody, Miss Rodeo Montana. We'll be right back on the Jason Walker Show, presented by Helen Accommodations, and we will talk with one of the contestants for this year's Miss Rodeo Montana. That is next here on the Jason Walker Show. Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918 or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back to The Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show, inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Had a lot of fun talking to Miss Kayla Seaman, Miss Rodeo Montana, and appreciate her, as always, being a great, great friend of the show. Just a sweetheart, and it's been so much fun getting to know her over the last 18 months, and her reign is coming to an end this weekend. They'll crown a new Miss Rodeo Montana coming up on Saturday night in Great Falls. And to chat about it now, to join us, is one of the contestants, Cassidy Shay O'Neil, and she joins us now here on The Jason Walker Show. Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. It's been a fun day so far, and it continues now because we're still talking to. It's like I have the greatest job in the world because I get to talk with Miss Rodeo Montana contestants. We had Miss Rodeo Montana Kayla Seaman in. Brianne Grimshaw will join us tomorrow. And we welcome in now, one of the contestants for this week is Cassidy Shay O'Neil. Cassidy, I'm going to call you Cassie Shay. How's that?
That sounds great.
That sounds great. I have known you for about 7 years.
Yes.
And a family friend. You were friends with my cousin down in Livingston. So Landy. So we all just know each other.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
We definitely need to give a shout out to your mom, Miss Grace. I love Auntie Grace. She's one of my favorites. But yeah, we go back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's awesome.
I don't want people to think that you're my favorite now just because of how long I've known you.
No, you got to keep it fair.
That's right. I'm not impartial. But anyway, so welcome. This is exciting for you because, was it 2016 you were Miss Livingston Roundup?
Yes.
And that's your hometown.
Yes.
Which is very cool for you to win that. What have you been doing the last 3.5 years?
So yeah, I held the title of Miss Livingston Roundup in 2016, and then I kind of took the year off. I ran for Miss Rodeo Montana 2018 and got first runner-up that year. And then I was presented with the opportunity to compete for Miss Big Sky Pro Rodeo, and that's the rodeo out of Great Falls that's held the last week of July along with the state fair. So I had that amazing opportunity, and I took 2019 just to represent that rodeo, and I got to meet some incredible people. And yeah, this year they've supported me, stood behind me, and now I'm representing them going into the Miss Rodeo Montana pageant.
It is a great rodeo up there. Will Rasmussen, one of my favorite guys in the world, is the announcer, and
yes,
he does a great job. The roundup between the two, between Great Falls and Livingston, which is your favorite? Can you say?
Oh wow. I think
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, you are. But okay, I'm gonna totally go cliche here and say both of them have their own kind of uniqueness. Livingston I love because it brings big name cowboys. I mean, you've got Tough Cooper coming through there. You have Tyson Durfee. Trevor Brazil's even stopped through there because of their added money. Livingston is in the top 50 rodeos in the nation just for their amount of added money. So I think that's one in itself to be commended on. And then Great Falls, I love it because of the camaraderie. You have the state fair going on, you have the concerts, the comedians, but one of my favorite things about them is their military appreciation and how much they reach out. They offer a free dinner to the military, a free night of admission for military, and then we even try and get them on to the wagon that we have that comes through the performance. So both of them favorite rodeos, so blessed to represent them both.
Cassidy Shay O'Neil joining us here, Jason Walker Show in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. As you look ahead to this weekend, what are you looking forward to the most, obviously, besides winning? But when you look at hanging out with the girls and the pageant itself, what do you look forward to the most?
There is a lot I look forward to. I mean, there have been, and I can say this confidently because I know all three of us, we've all been Miss Livingston Roundup. We've all held titles throughout this state. So I know a lot has gone into this week for all three of us. Years of preparation. And I think just letting it all hang out, as bad as that sounds, but just like letting the week happen is what I'm excited for. But I'm also excited because this year is a little different. Like, I'm going in with genuine friendships. I'm not going in looking at them as competitors. They're my genuine friends now, and I can only thank that to Rodeo Queening and the past titles we've held together.
I talk all the time about rodeo being a family, and that's more of the competitors of the rough stock events, the time events, but you forget about the queens you guys hang out at rodeos all the time together, so you become a real close, tight family.
We do, and a lot of people don't realize it, but being a rodeo queen, we're talking to a lot of different people at rodeos, and so it's kind of nice to have that tight-knit group of girls where we can just kind of turn around and just let it ease, like let it all out together. So it's pretty nice to be able to have friendships come out of this.
Definitely. You have had a very interesting last few years for sure.
Yes.
What's been one of your favorite moments?
Wow. As rodeo queen, or just like in the past few years as general?
As rodeo queen.
As rodeo queen. Well, I mean, carrying the American flag at my hometown rodeo definitely tops the list. And then...
Do you get emotional for that?
Oh, I cried the whole time.
Really? That's cool.
When I carried the American flag as Miss Livingston Roundup at the Livingston Roundup, my grandmother from Kentucky got to be there, and that was kind of one of the last times she's got to see me as rodeo queen. So yeah, I cried the entire time. But a lot of people don't realize the relationships with the animals that we're developing. So as rodeo queen, I've got to ride a bunch of different horses, and I think that's something special within itself. I've gotten to swing my leg over some amazing horse flesh, and that's probably been one of my favorite parts.
That's really cool. Cassidy Shay O'Neil, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. Win or lose this weekend, do you guys all have to have the same reactions? Like, is that something you guys are all taught as you cover up your face? And I mean...
Definitely not. No.
Everybody does it.
Yes. I feel like it's such a knee-jerk reaction. But no, I don't plan that at all. And I was explaining this to my mom a few days ago, that I can be totally calm, cool, and collected through that whole thing. The minute coronation starts, that's when my nerves, that's the only time my knees are shaking on stage. And I think that's just because the ultimatum of fear of not winning anything kind of comes to you. It hits me like a brick wall, and I think that's what makes me the most nervous. But I mean, I've already stood up there and won nothing. Sure. So this year, my fears already happened once. If it happens again, it happens. If I win, oh my goodness, I'll be so happy, just because I've worked so hard. But you know what? I have learned, especially in the last few months, that God's going to take care of me no matter what. And, as Kayla kind of said, I have an incredible opportunity coming up this year. And Rodeo Houston is going to be a blast, whether I'm Miss Rodeo Montana or not.
I wanted to ask you about that. What's it take to get into that, and how were you chosen?
Yeah, so I will be a flag girl or on the official pivot team for 2020 Rodeo Houston, which is incredible because Rodeo Houston is one of the biggest rodeos in Texas, but in the country. And they actually just started putting their earnings. So when a cowboy or cowgirl wins at Rodeo Houston, it just now started counting as earnings towards the NFR.
Right.
So we're bringing more names back to it. It's a 3-week long livestock show, concert, rodeo, and for one certain week, so the 9th through the 15th, I'll be carrying flags there with 11 other girls. And yeah, we got selected through an essay application process. There are about 85 girls, and I made the top 30. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It would be cool to have the Miss Rodeo Montana title.
Yes,
head down there as well.
It really would be, just because there are a lot of girls, like the current Miss Rodeo Nevada is going to be carrying flags, the current Miss Rodeo South Dakota, so many different state title holders are going to be down there. But I mean, you don't have to be a rodeo queen to do it. It just kind of, once you're in that community, it just kind of happens. But yeah, no, I thought for the longest time, being a rodeo queen, that I had to have the title of Miss Rodeo Montana to have big doors open for me. And it's recently just been this past year that I figured out that I don't have to be Miss Rodeo Montana. Yeah, heck yeah, it's going to be nice if I could be, but I'm Shay, and this whole process has taught me how to be a better version of myself.
What do you do when you're not running for Miss Rodeo Montana?
Like as a job?
Yeah, what do you do? What's your normal day work?
So I work at Sage Lodge in Paradise Valley, Montana. My little slice of heaven is what I like to call it. So Livingston, as some might know, is 52 miles north of the north entrance of Yellowstone Park. And Sage Lodge is right smack dab in the middle of those 52 miles. So we essentially are a getaway that has been created by 3 different companies: Sage Fly Fishing, the Joshua Green Corporation, which they own like Stanley, and then Columbia Hospitality. And those 3 companies came together and they're like, let's create a fly fisherman's haven, and what better place to do it than the fly fishing capital of the world.
There you go.
So I got to step out of my comfort zone this summer, and I developed a huge passion for fly fishing. And so that's what I do. I teach people all about my little slice of heaven in Paradise Valley, and we get to fly fish while we do it. So it's pretty awesome.
Do you use the metronome?
No, I don't, actually.
That's funny. You are running on a platform, though, and I wanted to make sure you got a chance to talk about that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. As we talked about, as Miss Big Sky Pro Rodeo, I had the amazing chance to meet people throughout that entire year. And while I was at the Nile PRCA Rodeo in October, I met a woman, and she had a table set up. It was our job as rodeo queens to kind of stand at the front and greet people as they came in after they got their tickets taken. Well, there was this woman standing there, and she had a table with a bunch of information, a bunch of freebies she was offering, and her logo is what caught me. And her business or organization was called Ask in Earnest. And I immediately was like, what in the world does that mean? And so I kind of got to talking to her, and Ask in Earnest is now an organization that I work really close with. We kind of service an opportunity for farmers and ranchers or anyone in the rural area to have a safe place to talk about mental health. Because not a lot of people realize that in Montana, we are the #1 state. A lot of people think Alaska is, but Montana, we actually sit at a suicide rate of 21%, where Alaska is only at 19%. And Park County, which is where I'm from, Livingston, has the highest suicide rate in the state of Montana. So it's extremely important to me. And how I got to talking to this woman is because her father was a wheat farmer, kind of down in the Laurel area, and he had committed suicide and it was kind of based off of the opportunities that he didn't have. So he didn't have any avenue to reach out to someone and say, hey, look, I'm struggling with my yields, or I'm struggling with my year. I'm just struggling as a farmer this year. But he felt like he didn't have anywhere to talk to. So she created this company or organization. And yeah, it was inspired by her father, and everyone told her that her dad always had the ability to make you feel like, you know, you were everything to him in that conversation and in that moment. And he would always ask in earnest. So he was always asking because he genuinely wanted to know. So that's kind of the behavior I've tried to embody as a rodeo queen, and why I started my platform, Start a Conversation That Matters. And that's kind of what I'm going into Miss Rodeo Montana with, is I just want to preach kindness. And if I can just simply, by asking someone how they're doing at a rodeo, if I can make their life a little bit easier and give them a safe place to talk to, I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose that God gave me. And I would love more than anything to do it as Miss Rodeo Montana.
Well, we're wishing the best of luck for you. It's a fantastic platform you're running with.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll put up links on our website on the Jason Walker Show as well. But good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I got to tell you, when I first met you, we were out floating in Canyon Ferry. I didn't expect you to be a future Miss Rodeo anything.
Yes.
So your fingernails are done. I mean, this is a different girl that I met 7 years ago.
Yes. I was definitely like playing in the mud and like fishing, and we were boating.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great time at Canyon Ferry.
Well, appreciate you coming in. Safe travels to Great Falls.
Thank
and
you.
When you win, you have to come back here on your way home.
Oh, without a doubt.
And all dolled up and everything.
Yes.
And if you have anything from the past, we can hang up in here.
Yes.
We'll hang it up.
I will, for sure. I would love the opportunity. And thank you so much for having me today.
My pleasure. Cassidy Shay O'Neil, one of the contestants for Miss Rodeo Montana. They will be crowned Saturday night at the PRCA Circuit Finals in the Electric City. Good luck. What a great time talking with Cassidy Shay, and good luck to her. Katie Lynn Krause and Breanne Grimshaw. Breanne Grimshaw will join us tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show. Also coming up tomorrow, we're going to chat with Sam Herder of Hero Sports, get a preview of the National Championship game, which is coming up Saturday, North Dakota State, James Madison, number 1, number 2 at Frisco, Texas. So that'll be coming up tomorrow as well.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Well, we learned that I like talking to rodeo queens, and I am very lucky to have this job because it's a lot of fun. We thank Kayla Seaman for coming in. Thanks to Cassidy Shay O'Neil. Tomorrow, Breanne Grimshaw, as I mentioned, didn't get a chance to get a hold of Katie Lynn Krause, but good luck to all three of them. We also got to do On This Day in History real quick, so let's do that as part of the walk-off, presented by Cafe Zydeco. Make sure you stop by 625 Euclid, grab some delicious food. This date, 1927, the Harlem Globetrotters played their first game. It was at Hinckley, Illinois. 1972, the LA Lakers won their 33rd straight game, the longest winning streak in major professional sports. 1980, the Philadelphia Flyers' NHL record 35-game unbeaten streak came to an end. 1994, Tanya Harding won the U.S. Figure Skating Championships for the female. And a happy birthday going out to Natalie Gulbis. The golfer is a year older today, born in 1983. So happy birthday to Natalie Gulbis. Hope you had a great time. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll do it tomorrow. Hopefully no issues. Jason Walker Show. We'll see you right back here. Don't forget Jay Scott News with Jay Scott coming up on Treasure State Radio. And hope you had a great Tuesday. Have a great Wednesday as well.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.